Okay, hello. Today I'm going to explain to you how to implement the errors mission system into your existing game. So here we have this we have the subsystem initialized for the mission system. This is a debugging text. So first of all, you need to go to plugins and go to ADU and make sure that the errors mission system is enabled and restart the editor. So I'm going to our blueprint and I'm going to create a folder and call this missions, and here I'm going to create a dummy enemy. So I'm going to create an actor, call this enemy, and open this enemy, and I'm going to add a cube to the enemy. This cube, like, I'm going to scale it like this, and it's okay. Now I'm going to add a sphere. So this sphere is going to be moved to be the head of the character of the enemy, and I'm going to add a box collision just for the player to be able to kill. Now this is a weird stuff. Okay, now I'm going to this box collision, I'm going to scale it up, make sure it is 0 here and here because I moved it by mistake. So this is the collision for the first person projectile when it hit it. We are going to edit the overlapping settings and to make it overlap the projectiles too. And since we already have a shooting system ready in the first person example, so I'm going to create an event and on begin overlap, and I'm going to cast to first person projectile, and if this happened, then I'm going to destroy actor. This will kill the enemy when the bullet hit the enemy. Let's test it out. For now, okay, now we have an enemy and this enemy is killable, so I'm going to delete this. And also I'm going just to make things good, I'm going to press first not top view but the left view, and select the cube and the sphere and the box, and I'm going to move them all here. Since I'm going to spawn in the floor, so I want the enemy to be standing, so I'm going to move this also here. Compile and save, and now we have the enemy ready. So in this mission folder, I'm going to create a folder and call it first mission. So the first mission I'm going to create is going to be let's go to the blueprint class, search for mission, and select the mission object and press OK, and name it kill all enemies. Open the kill all enemies. So this kill all enemies, I'm going to name it like the big battle. The name of this mission is the big battle. So I'm going to create now some goals for this mission. So I'm going to search for mission and select mission action, okay, and name this kill enemy. This is killing an enemy, and this is a goal that kill all enemies will count this action. So this action is going to be kill enemies, and it is a required action and it is a countable action. And let's say I want to kill like 10 enemies or maybe 5. I don't want to spam the level, it's a small level. So killing 5 enemies. Going to my mission object and add these to the requirement list. The requirement actions are the actions that are needed to complete for the mission to progress and consider itself done. So I'm going to kill enemies. Compile and save. So now if we need to add the component to the player. So I'm going to add the mission component to the player. Compile and save. So now we need to go to maps and create a map. This map called main menu. We need this because the system actually needs a place to start. So I'm going to first of all copy the name of the example map and go to my mission here. The mission here is not going to start in the same level, but it needs to have a level. Each mission, if you are going to start each mission and it's going to be the first mission in your game, it actually need to make this false and have a startup level. The system needs this, since you are going to start from a menu level and you need to start the mission in another map. Okay, now here I'm going to create the user interface. Call this let's name it main menu, and open the main menu. So I'm going to add a vertical box. This vertical box is going to be in the middle of the screen. Okay, we're going to add a button. This button should be in the vertical box. You need to add a text to the button, and the text and the button is named new game, and it will have a text of new game. I'm sorry for this, but like I need to do it this way because I want to explain how to really implement the system in existing other systems. So this is going to be load game, and I want it to be an example, like a tutorial for other beginners too. So load game. This will interrupt another function in the engine, so I'm going to load game button, since we already have a function called load game. So I'm going to add here a button too, since just for convenience reasons. So I'm going to wrap this vertical box, wrap it with a widget switcher, and here I'm going to add a vertical box again, the widget switcher, and this is going to have a button, and this button is going to have a text. Okay, this is going to name as back. This is the back button, and here I'm going to add a back text, and I'm going to add a scroll box. Put the scroll box in the vertical box. Here I'm going to make sure that it is in the top and it is filled. So now this is scroll box. It's going to be a variable, and it's going to have save game slots. Here I'm going to load the player profiles. I want to showcase that too, since I don't think first game shooters have like this feature, but it's probably in adventure games and stuff like that. But I'm going to showcase here, so because I want to showcase a lot of features in one project and in one go. So we need another user interface. Call this save slot, and open it. And I'm going to delete the canvas, we don't need it. We're going to add a button. Okay, and in the button we need to add a text. The text is going to be fill, and in the middle like that. And here I'm going to bind, and I'm going to promote this to a variable called this slot information, and it's going to be exposed and exposed on spawn. Compile and save, and we need to add another one called this player profile, and this is going to be a name. It's going to be exposed and spawn. Until now we didn't use the system still, but I'm going to use it right now. So we are going to here, and when I press the load game button, I want the widget switcher to set active widget index, and I'm going to set the first one active. And if I press back, I'm going to we need to set the first one here is active. So this is going to help us a lot. So I'm going to create a custom event called load saved profiles, and I'm going to call it on the construction script load saved profiles. For now I'm going to just test one thing. This one thing is going to blueprint, and I'm going to create a widget. It's going to be the main menu widget, and I'm going to add this to the viewport, and I'm going to get the player controller, and I'm going to set show mouse cursor to be true, and I'm going to set input mode to maybe game and UI. Okay, and connect this one here. So now if I play the games, I should load the game, I should see this, and if I back, I will see this. Okay, second thing I need is to add another blueprint class. Call this game mode main game mode. I need this one to override the first one because I don't want the player to be existing in the first level. So now we don't have that cursor, so we are going to the main menu, and we are going to search to call a static function called just write mission subsystem. You will have all the functions here. So we are going to first of all load all the get the player profiles. This is the player profiles, and I'm going to say for each loop. Then I'm going to load for progress for each profile. So I'm going to load progress. Load game. It's not load game. Load. I'll get progress تقريبا, or get progress. Get game progress for a specific profile. So, and I'm going to split struct bin, and we are going to create widget, and this widget is going to be the save slot. We are going to give it like the slot that the player is using, and here I'm going to use only the, maybe let's say, format text and format us a bit. So we have the mission, and here I'm going to say name, and I'm going to put the progress for this mission, or maybe say in the same here I'm going to say here I'm going to say state, and I'm going to space it out and put another thing here to say completion, and I'm going to put a percentage mark here and press like that. Here I'm maybe also put this and say last played, just for the sake of demonstrating the abilities. Let's say last. So the last played mission will be here, the completion for the mission is going to be here, the state of the mission is here, the mission itself is going to be here, and here I'm going to put in the slot. After that, we're going to get the slot names, and I'm going to add child to the slots, and also before each time you load this one, I'm going to get it and clear children. Here is the first example for using the system. The system is already giving you the profiles for the users that have used the system and created a new profile game. So this happens when I load the game. When the game starts, it's going to load all the profiles and put it in the list. But for the first time, we don't have a profile, so I'm going to when I press new game, I'm going to say start new mission. When I start the new mission, I'm going to start my kill all enemies mission. The mission object is the base class, and it's empty class. It doesn't have any things. It could cause issues with your system, so we need to kill all enemies. And for the profile name, I'm going to use player 1. You can make another menu that the player can enter the player name before starting the mission. So now this is going to start the mission, and we have the mission already set to the first person level. So if I press play, the mission will start, and we have now the game is loaded and the mission was called, mission begin was called. So now if I played, and go to load game, I will have the mission. It's called the big battle, and the progress is 0%. And you can see that the text is a bit bigger, or is a bit big for for the for the button. So now I can also load this game if I programmed the button here. Let's say go to the button and go on click. I'm going to load game. So use the load game from the mission subsystem functions, and what game we need to load is this one, the profile we added. So this is the first step. Now we're going to the mission itself. We have many ways to showcase the mission progress, and I'm going to use the simplest one. So I'm going to use the on mission tick, and I'm going to get mission status. This one is going to give you the progress. You can use it to populate a UI with the information, but now I'm going to use just a print string. So I'm going to for loop, and here I'm going to get action info. So here I'm going to print the string with a duration of 0, and I'm going to print the text, the action text. This will actually if I put the total to do, it will give you like a brackets and number of all enemies are found, and all enemies you need to kill, and all enemies you need to kill, and all enemies you have killed. So you will know that the mission is working. Now we will add also a function on mission ended, and I'm going to print the string and say mission ended. Maybe you can branch it here if it's successfully ended or it failed. So let's say mission ended, mission passed, mission passed, and mission failed. Okay, you have also another place to implement those functions is in the, if you went to the player class itself and use the mission component, you will have a delegate here for mission passed and failed and for restarted. So you can use it also here, but I like it to do it here. So now this is, I'm going to give it a bigger duration, 5 seconds and 5 seconds. So now let's start again. So I'm going to load a game. I'll load this game. So we have kill 5 enemies, and we 5 are 5. Then I'm going to add another thing here on my save game slot. When I press load game, I'm going to get player controller, and I'm going to set show mouse to be false, and I'm going to set input mode to game only. I'm going to hook both of these here before I start the new game. Okay, and the same thing, I'm going to copy it and use it in my mission if I pressed a new game. If I pressed a new game, I'm going to use to set the input to be for so now if I played the game and started a loaded game, going to the battle, the game is working fine. Okay, now we're the mission have its goals ready and everything is good. So I'm going to open the map again, and I'm going to go to my first mission, and I'm going to use something. I'm going to go to blueprint and say here transform arrows transform helper. You can use this class, or this is the blueprint version. I already made it for you here, so we can use it, or you can use a custom one here. So I'm going to use the blueprint version. I think it's good. So we have this here, and I'm going to, we have 5 enemies to kill, so I'm going to use this one here and put someone here and put someone here and put someone here. So these are the transform helpers that will help me to put the spawn location for my enemies in my mission. So I'm going to here in the mission, I'm going to add a variable called this spawn locations. and it's going to be a transform, and it's going to be an array. And I'm going to compile and save it and copy the name for this variable. You can leave this window open because I want to show you something. See, you can select any profile, any transform helper. First of all, I think I'm going to delete it because I need to set a variable in some of in all of them. So I wanted to be in the first one, and then I'm going to copy the transform helper. So I'm going to the details, and I'm going to select the mission class to be my kill all enemies. Actually, I remember something. This new update for the mission plugin uses can edit any variable in any class. In the first iteration in the first version of this system, you can only edit variables inside of the mission class. But now you can edit variables in any class you want. So here I'm going to paste the name of my spawn locations, and I'm going to now copy this one 4 times. You actually don't need to have them all having the same variable name, but you want them all to have the mission class, because the transform helper will actually take the spawn transform for all the instances in the world that have the same mission class, and then they will put it inside the mission class. So if I opened my mission class again, you will have, if I pressed fill transform array, boom, we will have 5 spawn locations here. So now we need to do something. We can go to the kill enemies action, and I'm going to open full blueprint editor, and we have some functions to override here, and I need to override on receive activation. So I'm going to cast to kill all enemies, because I want to get the transform, get spawn locations. And now I'm going to, because this count is going to be changing, since if I loaded the game after killing 3 enemies, this count will give me the remaining enemies. So I'm going to loop using the count but not using the spawn location. So I'm going to say for loop, not for each loop. It will start from 0, and the count -1 is going to be my last index. So I'm going to get a copy, and I use this as an index. So if I can use take only the number of spawn location suitable with the count of the enemies that are going to be spawned by the system. So I'm going to spawn actor from class. I'm going to spawn my enemy class, and I'm going to spawn it here. And now let's see, I want to also get this mission reroute node, and I'm going to reroute node. So because I want to this actor to be corresponding to this mission only, I'm going to add associated actor, and I'm going to give it a reference of each actor I spawned. Okay, and now if I play the game from the map, if I play the game and started, let's say load the game, we have now enemies are spawned in the world. But if I kill them, nothing happens. Right? Now we need to code some stuff. I'm going to my enemy. Where is my enemy class? Oh, okay, here's the enemy class. In this enemy class we have we destroy it, right? So I'm going to get player character, and I'm going to get component by class. I'm going to search for my mission, for the mission component, and here I'm going to say get the current mission. So, and making sure that this mission is valid, since I want to make sure I kill them while the mission is valid. Sometimes the mission may be failed, and you don't want to, and you lose the we clear the reference, so we need to make a validation check. and here I'm going to perform action. This actor is actually going to be perform the kill enemy action. This action, when I kill this actor, it's going to perform the kill enemy action on my mission. The source is going to be this. So passing this source, the mission will see this actor in the associated actors list and accept the performing of the killing process. So if I play it now and load the game, the big battle, and I killed, let's say I want to kill one by one. Bam! Let's say we have 4, we have 3. Now if I close the game and if I play the game again and loaded the game, I will have we have the progress here, but it is 0 point something. I'm going to load it and have, okay, the save game is not saving. So I'm going to my blueprint, going to character class and select the mission component, and I'm going to auto save type. I'm going to be always saving. So always saving meaning each progress you do, the system will save your progress, but after task completion it will save only after the completion of a task. Don't save, it won't save, and you will need to save like manually by calling the save function. And you have the save player location. You can disable this to save only the progress, and the game starts and the player will be spawned in the starting location, not in the checkpoint location. And in recording the journey is used for RPG stuff. If you have a journal and you need to see the finished mission and etc etc, those are used for something else. I need to change the usage of data table. I'm going to use a utility widget or a custom editor window for representing the tweaker. Is going to show you all the missions in the game, and you can tweak the settings without the need to open each class individually and edit it. But I found the data table a bit overwhelming since we have a lot of information. So I'm disabling this feature now. I'm going to use like a custom editor for this. So now after we tell it to save each time, I'm going to load my game, and now I'm going to kill and close the game. So I'm playing the game again, loading the game, and load the game. We have 3 enemies left. Let's count it: 1, 2, 3, and that enemy is not existing. The reason for that, because the list we have, you know, killing. Close the game and load the game. We have only 1 left. It spawned 1 left, but you know that they are not in the same order in the spawn location, so you will need to work around for that. But here you got the system is already saving everything you want, and if I kill this one, now the mission is saved, is passed, and we don't have a valid next mission, so that we got a red warning, but the mission is not valid. This is for the saved after the progress. We need to save the new active mission. So what is the usage for the new active mission? We can go to the level blueprint here, and now I'm going to use the event tick or the event begin play first, and I'm going to get I need to remember the functions. It's, because I forgot, so I'm going to subsystem and say like mission subsystem. I need to get the journal, or not the journal, but the progress, the game progress for a specific profile. The profile I used, I think it was player. Going to my widgets and copy the name for the profile I used to play the game. So I'm going to get this one, and I'm going to print to promote it to a variable, call it progress. So saving the progress after the game is loaded, and then I'm going to get the progress, and I'm going to split struct bin, and I'm going to print string. Okay, I think I have something here for this one. I'm going to use the same function here. Okay, the mission name, this is going to be the active mission. The last played is going to be the last mission. The state for the mission is going to be the state, and the completion is going to be this one. And I'm going to print it all the time when the game starts. And just you can use a UI to represent those values, but I'm going to use a print string just to make things faster. So if I play the game now, we have the now we don't have an active mission in my save file, and the last played mission was the big battle. And also you can get the percentage for the big battle too. Let's say this is the last mission, and I'm going to give it like say like an state, let's say progress, and like maybe do this, and say p and percentage, and press enter. So now we have the last played mission progress, and here you can use the mission completion but not the game completion, because the game is not completed. I mistaken this one. So if I now play the game, we'll have active mission completed. This completed is need to it is the state for the last mission. The last mission was completed, but you don't take this in consideration. And the first mission is the big battle, and it 1% is actually 100%, and it uses 0.1 is like 10% and stuff like that. So now we don't have an active mission. If I loaded the game, I don't have any active mission, but I can start a new game and do something like that. Let's say if I want to start a new game and call this player 2. Here my main menu, when I press the new button, I want to start a new game. Say let's new game, and we have 5 enemies. So I'm going to kill this one and close. So, and now if I want to get the game progress for maybe for the two players, player 1 and player 2, just to see how things are going to change. So I'm going to promote to a variable, call it p2, just to make it faster, and I'm going to collapse I'm going to collapse this to a function, call it print progress. So and here I'm going to use the same variable profile. I can make it this way, get it and do it this way. Oof. And now do it this way, close this one, and now I'm going to split the struct bin, and I'm going to take the name from here, take the mission from the next mission, take this from here, and take this from here, and the state is going to be the state, and I'm going to delete this one. So I'm going to here and give it the progress and compile and save. I need to refresh the function and compile and save, and I need to copy the function again, and this time I'm going to use the p2, the second profile name. So if I played the game now, I have the second player have the big battle in progress 2%, plus played, no finished mission yet, and the progress is 0 because no finished mission yet. And the first player have no active mission in his save file. If he open the level or open his file, he will only have a last played battle, and he can go and start a new mission, like going to some NPC and fire off a start new mission and something like that. So this is all the system, and in the plugin is now available for Unreal Engine 4.6.4.2.6 and 5.1.1, and hope you like it.